This video will show you how to make a fire spray animation in Blender. Please watch it to the very end. When you open Blender, press Delete to delete the default cube. Press Shift to then go to Mesh and add an icosphere. Come down here and click on this drop-down arrow to expand on its settings panel. Reduce the subdivisions to 1, then reduce the radius to 0.3 as well. Now come to the particle properties, then click on this plus icon to add a particle system to it. If you play it now, you can see the particles falling down. Now come back to the particle properties and scroll down to velocity, then click on this drop-down arrow to expand it. Under Object Aligned, increase this Y velocity to 10. Scroll down to Field Weights, then click on this drop-down arrow to expand on it and reduce this gravity to 0. Scroll up, then reduce this lifetime to 25. Click here and reduce this end frame to 100 as well. Now go to around frame 70 and press Shift to then go to Mesh and add a cube. Click on this X to go to a side view, then press S to scale it up to that size. Press G then Y to move it this side, making sure that it covers all the particles. Now go to the physics properties and click on fluid to add a fluid physics to it. Under type, choose domain, and under domain type, leave it at gas. Scroll down to adaptive domain and click on this box to activate it. Select this icosphere, then come back to the physics properties and click on fluid to add a fluid physics to it. Under fluid type, select flow, and under flow type, select fire plus smoke, then under flow behavior, select in flow. Scroll down and click on this drop-down arrow on flow source, then under flow source, change it to particle system. Click here under particle system and select the particle system. Now if you play it, you can see the fire spreading out, but it has a lot of smoke. So now select this cube and reduce the end frame to 120. Come to the physics properties and scroll down to cache, then reduce the end frame to 120 as well. Scroll up, then click here on buoyancy and reduce it to 0.5. Click on this box as well to activate dissolve, then click on this drop-down arrow and reduce it to 3. Now if you play it, you can see that the smoke has reduced. Scroll down to cache and change this type from replay to all. Activate as resumable, then click on bake all to bake the simulation. Now if you play it, you can see it coming out well. Now click on this icon to switch to the render preview. Come to the render properties, then switch this render engine from EV to cycles. Now come to the world properties and change this color to a black color. Bring your mouse cursor to this corner, then when the plus sign appears, click and hold the move down to merge the areas. Come to this corner as well, then bring your mouse cursor to this corner, then when the plus sign appears, click and hold, then move left to split this area. Now click here and switch this area from 3D viewport to shader editor. Press N to hide this sidebar, then click here on new to add a new material. Select this principled BSDF shader, then press delete to delete it. Press Shift to then go to shader and add a volume scatter, then plug it into the volume. Press Shift A and go to shader, then add an add shader node. Press Shift A again, then go to shader and add a volume absorption shader and connect it here. Press Shift to then go to input and add an attribute node. Click here under name and type and color, then plug this factor into this color. Press Shift A again and go to converter, then add a math node, then place it in between here. Select this attribute node, then press Shift D to duplicate it here. Click on it here and change this name to velocity, then plug this factor into this value. Now plug this value again into this color. Select this attribute node, then press Shift D to duplicate it. Click on it here under name and type in density. Press Shift to then go to converter and add a math node. Click on it here and change it from add to multiply. Connect this factor into the upper value. Now connect this value into the volume scatter density, then also connect it to the volume absorption density. Now you can see our volume starting to come out. So select this add shader and press Shift D to duplicate it here. Select these 3 nodes, then press Shift D to duplicate them here. Click here and change this attribute name to flame, then click on this as well and change its attribute name to heat. Now press Shift to then go to shader and add an emission shader, then plug this value into its color. Now plug this emission into the Add Shader node. And now you can see the flame becoming stronger. Now press Shift to then go to Converter and add a color ramp. Click on this plus icon to add a new color to it. Click on it and change it to this type of yellow, then drag it to this end. Click on this plus icon to add a new color to it. Click on it and change it to this type of yellow, then drag it to this end. Repeat the same process to add more layers of color and adjust them until the results look good to you. If you want to adjust on the intensity of the flame, come to this math node and increase on this value. And now we are done. You can now go ahead to work on your scene further in Render. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial up to now. I really appreciate. If you found this video useful, please consider subscribing to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you never miss out on our latest content. Also, let us know what you want us to teach you about Blender in the comments. I promise we'll make a video. Have fun animating. I sign out.